The Italian master versus the Spanish rookie. No distractions, no sidetracks. Just two riders, one war, and 1,000 layers of emotion, instinct, and speed. Title: The Adrenaline War, Morbidelli versus Aldeguer, Aragon's true showdown. Hidden headline of Aragon. You watched Aragon yesterday, didn't you? You saw the celebrations. You saw the familiar podium. Marc Marquez on top, the confetti, the domination. But I want you to forget all that. Because the real race, the one that had fans screaming in disbelief, riders holding their breath, and crews biting fingernails, wasn't for the win. It was for P5. It was a war, a dogfight, a pure distillation of what MotoGP is all about. It was Franco Morbidelli versus Fermin Aldeguer. And it was beautiful. Let's start with context. On one side, Franco Morbidelli, once Valentino Rossi's protege, a man who almost became world champion in 2020. Then, injuries, surgery, misfires with Yamaha, a career that looked like it had derailed permanently. Now, he's at VR46, back on a Ducati, back on a competitive package, back to basics. No more noise, just racing. On the other side, Fermin Aldeguer, the 20-year-old rookie with nerves of titanium and a throttle hand like lightning. He's been on everyone's radar since Moto2, but few expected him to fight like this so soon. These weren't two random riders having a scrap. This was the past being challenged by the future, and neither of them blinked. The lights went out. The chaos of Turn 1 unfolded. And as the front four riders stabilized, this battle began in silence. At first, it was a game of chess. Frankie ahead, Fermin watching. Then on lap 2, it happened. They touched. Aldeguer attempted an inside move. Frankie closed the line. Fermin ran wide, lost time, dropped back. That moment should have ended it, but it didn't, because Fermin Aldeguer didn't fold. Fermin regrouped, pushed again, corner by corner, lap by lap, he clawed the gap back. Meanwhile, Morbidelli was fighting his own demons. This was a sketchy race, he said later. I almost crashed 3 times, big ones, at turn 9 and turn 10. And yet, he held on. Not just physically, mentally. That's where champions are built. In the fog of uncertainty, with tires shot, rear end slipping, arms pumping, and a kid breathing down your neck who's got nothing to lose. And then they touched again, this time on the back straight. Over 360 kilometers per hour. 2 motorcycles separated by millimeters. 2 fairings brushing. No fear, no hesitation, just instinct, just belief. And through all of it, they stayed upright. They kept fighting. That moment wasn't just racing, it was theater. Act 4, the mindset of a warrior. Morbidelli, after the race, smiled with fatigue and pride. It was a really nice battle, he said. I'm pleased that I could get the better of him. But that wasn't just about the result. It was about the feeling. Because Frankie has battled Marc Marquez. He's fought the likes of Fabio, Pecco, Miller, Quartararo at their peak. And yet, this kid, this 20-year-old, gave him the same level of pressure. Frankie admitted it. It felt like the battle with Marc at Silverstone. The difference? With Marc, I couldn't beat him. With Fermin, I could. That statement says it all. The respect, the threat, the relief. Now, flip the visor. Go inside Fermin's world for a second. He could have played it safe, settled for 6th, banked the points. But that's not what rookies do when they smell blood. He saw Morbidelli struggling. He knew the Italian was on the edge, and he pounced. He didn't care about the pressure. He didn't care about the risk. He just cared about the moment. And after the race, no bitterness, no anger. Yeah, a funny fight, he grinned. If I'd won, I'd be even happier. But Morbidelli is heavy in a battle. He's got a lot more experience. He won. That's maturity. That's humility. That's growth. Morbidelli later admitted something else. For sure, I lost time with that battle. Maybe we could have challenged Pedro Acosta for 4th. But did he regret it? Not for a second. Because sometimes it's not about P4 or P5. It's about winning the fight you're in. It's about proving to yourself that you still have it. And Frankie, he needed that. In a paddock where careers are cut short and contracts are cold, that battle reminded the world and himself he's still dangerous, still elite, still here. This wasn't a clean clinical exchange of positions. It was dirty, it was rough, and it left scars, mental and physical. Furman's front tire was cooked. Morbidelli's nerves were fried. They both crossed the line exhausted, but also elevated. Morbidelli didn't just beat a rookie, he beat fear. Aldeguer didn't just lose P5, he won respect. That kind of fight leaves a mark, not on the body, but in the soul. Morbidelli was asked if his training at Valentino Rossi's dirt track ranch helped. His answer? There is nothing that can train you for a battle at 360 kilometers per hour. With bikes that have 250 horsepower and weigh this much, on the last lap of a race with worn-out tires, maybe the ranch helps a bit. But in those moments, you go by instinct. And that's the word. Instinct. That's what this battle was. Not strategy, not telemetry, just instinct, the purest form of racing. Make no mistake, Aldeguer is the future. He's got raw pace, fearless overtakes, a cool head. But yesterday, he met a wall. Not a steel wall, not a mechanical one. A human wall, made of experience, craft, resilience. And Frankie stood tall. That's why it matters. Because the future must go through the past before it becomes the present. And Aldeguer got his first taste. To Act 10, why it mattered. To casual fans, this was just a fight for fifth. To those who understand MotoGP, it was a masterclass. It was a passing of the torch, but not yet. It was a battle that meant something. Morbidelli needed to prove he could still dance with the best and lead. Aldeguer needed to show he belonged, and he does. And for us, the fans, we got a reminder of why we show up every Sunday, why we sit on the edge of our seats, why we hold our breath at every overtake. It's for this. Not always the win. Sometimes the war within the war, the unsung fight, the adrenaline shot Morbidelli talked about. There are no trophies for what Morbidelli and Aldeguer did yesterday, but there should be. There should be a medal for courage, for risk, for theater. That was racing in its purest form. When the helmets go on and the heart takes over, when a veteran won't give an inch and a rookie won't ask for one. No team orders, no tire saving, just riders. And on that Sunday in Aragon, two of them gave us something we'll remember far longer than the podium photos. Frankie, Furman, thank you. MotoGP needed that. We needed that.